guess what? We just moved
to Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
We're gonna be stronger. This is our fight. We're gonna be stronger. We won't back out of this fight.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Today we're at the Titanic exhibit inside the Luxor.
Yeah, so we're gonna go check this museum out. I am actually really excited. I love all things Titanic, and I have since I was like a small kid. So I'm really excited to check this out.
Yeah, I don't care too much about Titanic, but I'm a history person, so I'm looking forward to some of the exhibits and stuff inside. So come get lost with us today as we tour the Titanic Museum.
Yeah. We are starting our Titanic exhibit, and they actually gave us 2 passenger cards, and we are basically these dedicated passengers, and at the very end we're gonna get to see if they made it. And I am Mrs. Stephen Hold.
And I'm Mr. Manuel E. Chuchutu.
And I am 36 years old from Cornwall, England.
And I'm 40 from Mexico City, Mexico.
And I am accompanied by my husband, Stephen Hold, and I am a 2nd class passenger.
Travel alone.
And you're 1st class.
First class.
And he was a 1st class passenger, so yeah, so we're gonna let you guys know what happened in the end.
Yeah.
Alright? Is actually one of the things from the boiler room, and if you guys remember anything about the Titanic, it is steam powered. And it is completely powered by coal. And the Titanic carried over 6,000 tons of coal, which is crazy because they also cooked with it. It looks like it probably heated their water, like everything from powering the ship. Crazy. So this is, I guess, what they used to blow the horn when they entered fog. Interesting. It's kind of like you're on the ship cabin itself. Like you can kind of hear it like rumbling. And this is actually what the decks look like. Interesting. Frederick Goodwin, 40, his wife Augusta, 43, and their 6 children left their home in Fullingham, England, bound for Niagara Falls. An electric engineer had learned from his brother of an opening of a power station. Although they may have been able to afford the price of a 2nd class ticket, the Goodwins booked 3rd class passage on a smaller steamer in order to save money. And they were transferred to the Titanic because the original ship they were going to sail on canceled. passengers shared bathtubs. Fascinating. So just a little word on pricing. A third class ticket on the Titanic cost $40, which would have been roughly $900 today. And a first class ticket was around $103,000. It's crazy. And if you booked a third class cabin, it was occupied by 4 strangers. And again, like I said before, they also shared bathrooms. Third class also had a dining saloon where they got 3 full meals a day, a smoking room, a general room, and 3 outdoor areas, including the poop deck. Alright, so this is essentially what that cabin would have looked like. As you can see, like 4 bunks, not a whole lot of space here at all. And this is some of the artifacts that they've recovered. We are in the second and first class only allowed beyond this point. So again, some more artifacts that they were able to recover. It's pretty cool. Immigrants brought personal china, books, and jewelry with them. All White Star Line services were identified with a star, banner, or a logo. So in case you were wondering, second class included businessmen, authors, professors, clergy, and those who were careful with money. It cost anywhere from $1,700 to $10,000 in US dollars today. It's crazy that they were able to recover a lot of this stuff. So they didn't have running water. Only first class cabins did, so if you were in a lower cabin, you used this basin that got filled with water, and then you dumped it into another one. That's kind of crazy. No running water.
So I've heard. I don't see any point in working up a sweat like that. I never do unless I'm on safari.
Ma'am, look at the time. Dinner will be starting soon.
Dinner? I'm completely beyond.
Here's some more recovered artifacts that were from first class bathrooms. Like, look at that tub stopper. I mean, that's pretty huge. Chamber pot. Some more artifacts. There's an alligator skin wallet, some glasses, an actual like straight razor. That's actually a hair dye. Pretty crazy. Some recovered things from the dining room. Here's some recovered money, playing cards, some gambling chips. Alright guys, here we go. At 1:45 p.m. they got the report that there were 2 large icebergs. And granted, this was all like Morse code. Both commercial and navigational safety messages. On April 14th, they had messages about ice and sent most, but not all of those messages to the bridge. At 9:30 p.m., they saw much heavy packed ice and a great number of large icebergs. And then at 10:55 from the Californian, they stopped moving because they were surrounded by ice. It's crazy. With less than 2 days left on their journey, Titanic passengers began looking forward to their arrival in New York. The third-class common rooms buzzed with excitement, with social elite from first class held a gala dinner with the captain, congratulating him on another safe crossing. Despite several ice warnings they had received during the day, Titanic steamed ahead at 21 knots, close to her top speed. Wow. So this is what it would have been like to just hang out on the deck of the Titanic at night. That's just fascinating. So cool. Lookouts Fleet and Reginald were on duty from 10 p.m. to midnight the night of April 14, 1912. They had orders to keep very alert for icebergs. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but on the night of April 14, 1912 is clear and bitterly cold. The North Atlantic has an unnatural beauty this evening. When the sky full of stars, the sea so calm it looks like a mirror. And then suddenly, they come across the iceberg. The irony that this hymn was sung is kind of crazy because they literally say, "Oh, hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea," not even knowing what was going to happen. So here's some more artifacts that was recovered. Pretty crazy. Also, my camera keeps picking up people. It's pretty crazy. So apparently in 37 seconds between the orders and the collision, the Titanic bow swung 22 degrees away from the iceberg, enough to avoid a head-on crash into the ice, but not enough to prevent the fatal hit to the side. So this is the remnants of one of the navigational compasses. Crazy. And in case you were wondering what people were saying after they hit, here's what they said. Here's what the head of the compass looked like. It is really dark in here. So we got some more artifacts. Basically kind of just like highlighted. And I have to say, like, this whole room has a very like eerie feel to it. Like they've set these up so that they look like they're basically floating in the water. This is probably the coolest thing. It's the replica of what it looks like underneath the ocean, and you can see right where it broke, right down the middle, and where the iceberg hit. Pretty crazy. It's a piece of the deck bench that we saw earlier. Another recovered artifact. Alright, so a lot of what is under the sea is slowly being eaten away, so they are attempting to recover as much of this as they possibly can to try and preserve it. And this is an actual side of the hull. What the crap? It's insane. It's insane. This is like the first of like an actual person's identified belongings. Crazy. Though in the top row, it's hard to see.
It's like if you had money, you had a higher chance of being saved. Yeah.
Alright, I guess now we're gonna go look and see if we can find our name. Any guesses as to whether or not we made it? If you made it this far in the video, leave your guess in the comments.
Alright, this was my name. Mr. Manuel E. Ermercher. He did not make it through the wreck.
We just finished up at the Titanic exhibit here at the Luxor. We, just a kind of fun little tidbit is they give you a card at the beginning with a name and what your class is, and at the end you get to see if you made it or not, and I made it.
Yeah, I was in first class and I didn't even make it. How disappointing is that?
I think maybe he decided to start a new life. It said he had 7 children.
And they never found his body. Yeah, I could see that.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So, but I want to show you guys what we got in the gift shop when we left.
And to say that it's a cool museum. Definitely worth a visit if you're over here.
Yeah.
It's not as interactive as Cooperstown was, but it's still got a lot of cool displays and some really neat things to take a look at that you'll see in our video. So
I also had like an eerie feeling in some of the rooms, which I don't know if that was just my mental head like in the moment, but there's definitely a very weird vibe to some of the rooms, just with all the artifacts and everything.
it was kind of interesting how it went from third class to second class to first class, and you got to have a night on the deck where it was like it was be on the deck, and then you slowly creep in the darkness after it hits the iceberg. So neat setup, really cool museum.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend. But let's take a look at what we got.
Yeah. So there are a few photo opportunities. Here there's one right at the beginning and one at the grand staircase. And this is the one we did at the very beginning. Quintessential Titanic pose on the bow of the boat. It's cheesy. You're at the Titanic Museum, you gotta do it. So yeah, so that's picture number one. Picture number two, I actually really love the way this one came out, and this was on the grand staircase. And I just think it just looks really nice. I really like how both of us are smiling, and like it came out really nice.
And you're not allowed to take pictures of the grand staircase unless you actually get a picture.
Yeah. So this is your only chance to get a picture of this room, although I did kind of sneak a little peek of video. They didn't say no video, they just said no pictures, so. But anywho, this was my favorite picture. And there were a bunch of different backdrops that you could choose with those same poses. And then, if you're not a part of our Patreon yet, you need to be, because we have postcards that we would love to send to you guys. So we got some postcards. We got the Titanic. I thought this one just looked really cool with the ship.
Old school poster.
And then this one is a replica of the boarding pass, and I thought that one looked really cool too. So if you're not supporting us on Patreon, definitely go check it out, and one of these could definitely be yours. Alright guys, so if you guys are interested in coming to the Titanic exhibit here at the Luxor, tickets were $32 per person, so with tax it was about $70. And our pictures, they did have different packages. You could get all of them for $40, but I got two for $30, I think is what it was. So, because the other ones just they weren't great, so.
Yeah, and there's only about like 15, 16 rooms to the museum, so it's a kind of a short museum. It's totally worth it, but it just note up ahead, it's not going to take you very long. Yeah. Maybe an hour to get through it at most if you go really slow. And it took us, the reason why it took us a little bit longer was there were a lot of people, crazy enough, on a Tuesday. It was kind of busy, so there were a few like stop and go moments where you really couldn't go forward. Right. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let us know in the comments below. I would love to go to more museums and show you guys some of this other stuff that you can do on the strip that's not gambling or anything like that. So if you want us to go to the Bodies Museum, let us know in the comments below, and maybe we'll take a trip over there next time. Yeah, so we will see you guys in the next adventure. Yeah, come get lost with us again. Bye.